Hello, and welcome to UHeart Sports Talk. I'm Matt Tomer.
And I'm Madeline Hartley. We have a great show for you today. We will be hearing from 3 UHeart athletes.
We will be hearing from Juliana Kosensky of the softball team, Peter Quinn of the esports and volleyball team, and Edwin Almanzar Jr. of the baseball team.
Juliana Kosensky, a softball player at the University of Hartford, opens up about her thoughts about the importance of mental health while being on the sports team and how she translates that into being a team player.
She truly is quite an athlete. She has been a star for the Hawks ever since she stepped on the mound her freshman year.
I know, she's truly doing an amazing job.
Now, let's take a look at Kyle Jakovic's video conversation with Juliana Kosensky.
My name is Juliana Kosensky. I'm a senior pitcher on the softball team here at the University of Hartford. I started playing when I was really young, like 6. I played rec ball in town, and then when I was 9, I started playing club softball, and since then the rest is kind of history. Once I started in high school, started playing to be recruited, and now I'm here, and it's been great. Mental health to me is super important. It's something that I've dedicated my whole life to since being here at the University of Hartford. I've implemented mental health awareness into everything I do and have found a way to make it a career for myself as I'm going to school next year to get my master's in clinical mental health counseling. But I have integrated mental health awareness into my sports teams, our entire athletic department, and I'm doing my best to bring awareness to this. As an athlete, you're faced with mental health awareness all the time. It's really important in order to maintain your mental health, in order to stay strong on the field. Being mentally strong on the field is huge for athletes, as the mental game is just as important as the physical game is. So this has been a topic that has really inspired me, and I'm really passionate about, and like I said, I've integrated it into athletics as best as I can here, so it is very important to me. I think playing a sport has been extremely beneficial to my mental health. Having a group of girls like I do as my support system has been amazing. They've become the people that I lean on during any of the hard times, and they have been a savior for me. And being able to have a sport where we take 2 hours of our day and we're outside practicing, or 2+ hours sometimes, it's really nice to have that outlet to escape from the real world and just play the game that we love with the people we love, and that really helps my mental health as well. COVID has thrown a wrench into a lot of things, and it has not been easy. It's been a challenge, just like a lot of things in life are. Despite COVID and the transition to D3, we are still rising above every day, choosing to play for each other, and we have just been really there for each other and supporting each other during this crazy time, and that's all we can do. As a pitcher on the softball team, I maintain my composure and my positivity by remembering that despite the pressure of being the pitcher on the field and all the hardships that can come with that my team's behind me, my defense is there, and I know that no matter how I throw, my team's got my back, and that is what helps me maintain my positivity on the field.
Wow, she's really passionate about this. And I feel like other people could really learn from this and help anyone who is also struggling with mental health.
It must be hard trying to be good at your sport while also keeping up with your mental health, but she does an amazing job at maintaining her own along with helping her teammates.
All right, now we get to sit down with Peter Quinn, and he's not just a player on the court, but also a player in the virtual world.
It's pretty cool that you can be a professional athlete without having to do any physical activity. Esports is more of a mental challenge and puts players to the test.
Next up, Matt Tomer, the big MT, the guy sitting next to me, talks with Peter Quinn of the esports and volleyball team.
My name is Peter Quinn. I am a senior here at the University of Hartford, and my major is psychology. I am a co-captain of the Overwatch team here at the University of Hartford, as well as a member of the Esports Advisory Committee. I am the event coordinator, and I play Overwatch. And my favorite aspect of the game is definitely the team integration, so the fact that you can play with different groups of people and see success with different lineups and rosters, as well as just counterplay against enemy teams. The main reason why I joined esports was because of my friend Adam. He's a very close friend of mine who I played video games with since I've gotten to Hartford. And he invited me out one day and said like, hey, do you want to join this team? And I fell in love with it immediately. Playing in a cooperative fashion is just very different to playing in just normal ladder, just with random people online. Someone that's interested in joining any of our esports teams, I would definitely describe it as a social experience in which you get to come out of your shell and experience video gaming and competitive video gaming in a completely different light. You get the opportunity to play with other people, go to tournaments, and face problems and troubles that you may never have had if you were just playing video games casually. And we also see that a lot of people who start playing esports with us have never played any other type of competitive sport, whether it be like a physical sport or an esport. I've been a manager for the volleyball team now for 3 years. Before that, I was a practice player in my freshman year. Most of it is helping out, with the girls whenever it comes to travel, whenever it comes to getting food orders in and everything like that. This previous semester, it's fallen back a little bit, but most of it is just helping out wherever I'm needed. It's difficult. I mean, I'm lucky that volleyball is a indoor sport, as well as the fact that it typically happens during the day or on weekends. And Overwatch is a game that's typically played from 8 to 10 o'clock for our practice schedule. But there's a lot of practicing outside of that, including VOD watching. It's video on demand, or it's just what we refer to as rewatching any of our footage, either in-game or through Twitch, which is a very popular medium that we use to record and stream our games.
Esports really is an up-and-coming industry, and it's cool to see that it plays such an important role in people's lives.
I don't really know too much about esports, but watching this made me honestly appreciate it and want to read more about it. He's doing an amazing job at being part of 2 teams and putting his all into both.
From the computer screen back to the diamond, as our next athlete is also a pitcher, but he's a member of the baseball team.
Edwin Almanzar, a new player on the baseball team, is already doing an amazing job and is really putting in the work.
Next up, Trevor Kavanaugh sits down with Edwin Almanzar Jr. from our baseball team.
Edwin Almanzar Jr. will come in for the Hawks, the freshman.
First name's Edwin, last name's Almanzar Jr. I'm currently an academic junior, but I'm a freshman athletically. And I'm a pitcher for Hartford Hawks. When I was a freshman, I actually had just came off of elbow surgery, something called Tommy John. It's like a surgery a lot of baseball players get from overthrowing. I couldn't play baseball. I was, stuck rehabbing 4 to 5 times a week. The injury set me back a lot. Actually, an enormous amount, if I think about it. My freshman year, I couldn't play the entire year. The rehab stage of the surgery was basically a year till you can get back to, fully recovering and throwing like at maximum capacity with the right recovery as well. And then right after my sophomore year, it was a COVID year. So, I lost a year of sports that year as well for, Hartford, and I couldn't try out either because of the new rules put in place. So, I mean, me not trying out freshman year and not being able to because of the surgery really is the reason why I'm a freshman my junior year. Greek life was the next best thing. I saw a group of guys there that really welcomed me, even with my elbow surgery and whatnot. And they actually helped me rehab quicker. Greek life just it was a community, It was somewhere where you can feel accepted if you, really bonded with the right kids specifically. And I did, which was why I joined Alpha Sig. I felt like I bonded with the guys at the time and still do to this day. Stop having the stigma that if you're Greek life, you can't be an athlete. I mean, if you think you have the abilities and you really want to push yourself to do it, then do it. Why not? I did it, you can. Simple as that.
Well, that is all we have time for this week. Stay tuned for our next show where we talk to more athletes around campus.
Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Tomer.
And I'm Madeline Hartley, and this has been UHeart Sports Talk.